And that, my friends, is the new theme song for the Boulder Star Beacon, written by Jeffrey Nitch and performed beautifully by the Boulder Philharmonic. Yes, certainly deserved. and directed by Michael Butterman. And so my name is John Terr. I am the president and CEO of the Boulder Chamber, and I welcome you to this annual holiday tradition. This is the 77th annual lighting of the Boulder Star, which a tradition that started back in 1947 by the Boulder Chamber, but is now jointly cared for and stewarded by the Boulder Chamber and our great folks at the Boulder Open Space Department. I will say that this is the first time that we've had the opportunity to light this in person atop the CU rooftop terrace at Folsom Field. Now that's a wonderful thing for those who are here, who are bearing the cold, but I also welcome all of you who are watching this through simulcast in the comfort and warmth of your own home. Welcome. I also want to make sure to acknowledge that the Boulder Star and its lighting and its upkeep would not happen without generous support, both from the community as well as generous sponsors. And I want to make sure to recognize this year's presenting sponsor, WK Real Estate. Thank you so much, WK Real Estate. So as I mentioned, for 77 years, the Boulder Star has been a symbol for our community. It's been a symbol in times of pain. Think about the Marshall fires, the King Soopers shooting. It's been a symbol for us of the healing powers of the Boulder Star. The Boulder Star has also been here through 77 years when we've had moments of concern. Think about the hostage-taking situation when we lit the Boulder Star, or during the COVID period. The Boulder Star has stood as a symbol of hope for our community. And then I always find it really special that the Boulder Star is always lit soon after the election season, in moments when we have periods of potential division in our society. And the Boulder Star stands there as a symbol of our community coming together in our unity. And then we note that now we light the Boulder Star on Veterans Day, November 11th. And there's no better time to come together in unity than when we can recognize and celebrate the service of our men and women in service in the armed forces, as well as our veterans, and thank them and appreciate them for their service to our community. And to honor that tradition, I'm asking Rex Laceby, who's president of the CU Boulder Alumni Association, Veterans Alumni Association, to please come forward. Thank you, Rex.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for being here. I'm extremely honored to be here because I served our country for 21 years, United States Marine, got my commission right here at CU Boulder, and this is where I wanted to, live. Of all the places I could go, I wanted to come back here. Black and gold, love my buffs, love this community. And one of the most amazing things about being part of this presentation is because it's an example of how veteran-friendly and how military-friendly Boulder really is. There's about almost 14% of our population are veterans because we have such amazing programs like the ROTC units right here at CU Boulder. And this lighting of the star is this amazing representation, just like the Boulder Memorial Day tribute, that shows that Boulder is an example of not only how to, say we support our veterans and military, but actually, do, things like the lighting and worry about, what will someone think if we light it on Veterans Day? But it was embraced with open arms. We have some amazing folks in this audience who've made it possible. I want to recognize the 3 commanders for our 3 ROTC battalions. I got Rob Bodish, Marine Colonel. He runs our Navy and Marine Corps Professional Naval Science. I've got Air Force Colonel Rebecca Lang, not new to CU Boulder, because she was here many years ago and actually started the Det 105 Alumni Association. But now she's back here as a Thunder Chief. taken the reins by the horse, or horse by the reins. And she's already just become this amazing example for the affinity and chapters here at the Alumni Association. And then we have Lieutenant Colonel Laney Place, and she's with the Golden Buffalo Battalion. And it's because of their hard work and their staff's hard work that we actually have a Joint Service Color Guard. So the young men and women who will be coming soon to give us this amazing representation of all of our services, these young men and women are here getting their degrees, getting their commissions to provide that blanket of freedom for us. They are, inevitably going to be deployed, whether it be hostile or maybe just some sort of interoperability exercise or some humanitarian mission. But these young men and women have wrote that blank check of their lives for all of us. So I'm so proud and so thankful to be part of this ceremony, thanking John and the Boulder Chamber and all our sponsors, and everyone like you that helps us support the Star by purchasing of the cards, by purchasing the wine, or direct sponsorship. So I'm so grateful to be here. And without any further ado, one of our best traditions is the presentation of colors. And we have a very special treat. Miss Olivia, make sure I didn't mess up her last name, Drohan. She's a local 16-year-old singer who's just amazing. And she came out here tonight to give the best rendition of the Star Spangled Banner for all of you guys. So please enjoy this presentation. And thank you so much for coming and continuing to support our military and our veterans here in Boulder. Thank you.
Right. Color guard. Halt. Left. Face. Present. Colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Carry colors. Ready. Cut. Order. Colors. Ready. Cut. Parade. Rest.
Melissa, so very beautiful. Thank you so much. So a little public service announcement. We're about to light the Boulder Star. We know that that's an attractive nuisance in that some of you may be tempted to go up to the Boulder Star and convene around it. We ask that you instead enjoy the Boulder Star from afar. And thank you. People are getting used to that slogan. And the reason we do that is we want to make sure that, first of all, there's erosion happening on the hillside up there. It's very steep there. Believe me, it's a dangerous area. If you've ever seen the light bulbs roll down the hill, you know. And we also want to make sure we're protecting the wildlife. So again, please remember to enjoy the star from afar. So now I have the great honor of welcoming somebody who's familiar, I'm sure, to all of you. Every time we ask this individual if he may make time to come and speak during our Boulder Star lighting. It's yes and when. And what time do I need to be there, or where is it? He himself is doing amazing service to our country. Maybe he does deserve combat pay, but I will say that he is such a great leader for our community, and so glad to have him here, Congressman Joe Neguse.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you, John, for that very kind, overly generous introduction. It's great to be back here in the Boulder community for this particular event. I am cognizant that every minute that I spend talking is a minute of delaying this wonderful, beautiful, bright star from shining on Boulder's landscape, and so I'll be very brief with my remarks. But this is one of my favorite events, as you could tell from John's description of my zeal for wanting to attend over the course of the last 5 years in particular. It's my favorite event of the year for a variety of different reasons. Of course, at the top of the list is the fact that it's held on Veterans Day. It's an opportunity for us to be able to recognize and thank the veterans in our community, many of whom are here, and of course, even more who are watching at home, for their incredible sacrifice, their bravery, their courage, their commitment to our great country. It's one of my favorite events because it's almost always held at CU, my alma mater, as you can tell from my sweater here, and we happen to be here at Folsom at a particularly exciting time for the CU Buffaloes. Go Buffs! But perhaps one of the more instructive reasons for me about why I love this event is it gives me, and I think the Boulder community, and all who are able to see this star light up, an opportunity to be a bit introspective about the last year since we were gathered together to be a part of this ceremony, and the year ahead. As John said, you think about the span of 77 years that this star every year has shown throughout the Boulder and Colorado community. You think about the trials and tribulations that this community, that our state and our country were enduring at various points across that 77-year range. From the Vietnam War, earlier today I had an opportunity to thank veterans and pin veterans who had served during the Vietnam War just earlier today in Longmont. You think about the days after September 11th, when our community gathered to light the star, a very difficult time for our country. And of course, the last 5 years in our community, from the Marshall Fire, terrible mass shooting, the COVID pandemic, many other challenges that our community has faced. As I think about the next 12 months, I have to tell you that notwithstanding the political divisions that exist in our country that John alluded to, I remain very hopeful and optimistic about our future and our ability to bridge the divide and come together. This star reminds us that our best days are ahead, that we happen to live in the greatest state in the greatest country in the history of the world, and that none of the problems that we face are ultimately unsolvable, that all of them are within our grasp of being solved if we're willing to work together in good faith with folks who may have a different worldview than our own. So as I prepare, like all of you, to see this star shine, and as we march through the upcoming holiday season, my daughter, very excited, 6 years old, to see Santa here next week, I will be reminded of all that I think we can accomplish together if we remain hopeful and optimistic in the days, months, and years ahead. So I thank you all for being here. I thank the Chamber of Commerce, of course, and all of the partners who make this important ceremony possible, and of course, our Mayor of Boulder as well. Thanks so much for being here.
Joe, your leadership gives me hope. So we also have other officials here who wanted to be a part of this ceremony. And the only difference I would take with the congressman's comments, he said, you know, we are here in the greatest state, in the greatest country in the world, but we're also in the greatest city in the world, Boulder, Colorado. And representing the city of Boulder is our amazing mayor, Aaron Brockett. Welcome to the stage, Mayor.
Thanks so much for that, John. You stole my thunder. I was going to make the same point. Here in the great city of Boulder, Colorado, It's a pleasure and an honor to be here with you this evening. I'd like to thank the Boulder Chamber for organizing this, as they have for 77 remarkable years. And also want to thank all of the city employees at our open space department and others who support this effort as well. So huge thanks to those city staff who work super hard every day for our community. But of course, most of all, I want to thank our veterans, those of us who are here with us this evening, those of them in the community and around the country. And I think of the veterans who've made a real difference to me in my own life. For example, my father-in-law, Don Anderson, who spent 20 years in the Air Force. Or as a child, the great mentors to me, my two grandfathers both served in World War II in the Pacific Theater. And my grandfather Guy, I would sit on his knee as a child, and he would tell me stories, terrifying stories, but inspiring stories about leading an LST ship onto the beaches of Leyte Gulf in the face of enemy fire, as well as my grandfather Edward Brockett, who served on the USS Cleveland cruiser. And those stories as a young boy and then as a young man were always an incredible inspiration to me. And to the extent that I'm ever able to accomplish anything in this life, I know a lot of it is due to their example and inspiration. So thank you all for being here, and I'm so looking forward to seeing the star get lit up again. It is always a moment of hope for us each. You know, I have to say the week after daylight savings time ends is always a little tough. Things get dark so early. And then regardless of your particular persuasions or what have you, the week after an election is always a time to kind of reflect and come back together as well. So I'm so glad that we'll have this star here to guide us and inspire us through this dark winter season. Because there come times in all of our lives where we need a little hope, a little extra light to get us through a hard day. So I think for all of us here in Boulder throughout this winter time, when we're having a tough day, a tough night, maybe feeling the winter a little bit harder, we can look up to the bright star shining on the hillside and know that we're all in this together, that our friends and our neighbors will take care of each other here in this great city of Boulder, Colorado, and around our country. So thanks so much, everyone.
Beautiful, appropriate comments there, Aaron. Thank you. So just a couple of other brief public service announcements. As we mentioned, it is the Boulder community that supports the lighting of the Boulder Star, and they do it in a couple of ways. First of all, we have our annual Boulder Star holiday card, tradition that has been exciting for us to support artistic expression in our community in highlighting the Boulder Star. And this year's art, through a very competitive process, was produced by Kristen Ross. And it is a beautiful piece. I urge all of you to find out where you can get those cards and purchase them. We know that they're available at Art Source International, Chautauqua's General Store, Lucky's North, and McGuckin Hardware. So you can also get them online at the Boulder Chamber website, boulderchamber.org, and you can purchase them also by going by the Boulder Chamber on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I also want to mention that we have a special wine that is blended just especially to symbolize the Boulder Star. It's your guess as to what that might taste like. But I will say that we thank our great friends at Book Cliff Vineyards who've been doing this for many years, and it's a beautiful tradition with the label of the Boulder Star card art. And you can purchase it at the Boulder Book Cliff Vineyards tasting room, which is in North Boulder. I urge all of you to go by that tasting room. And then finally, new this year special, and great because this art is worthy of this, Liberty Puzzle has agreed to make a puzzle out of the Boulder Star card art, and you can purchase that at a variety of retail stores in the community, and just noting that that's at their store on the Pearl Street Mall. So a couple of ways that you can all support the Boulder Star shining brightly in our community. Okay, we're ready for that big moment. All right, and so this year we have our official new light switch, okay? We were having trouble with the old one. The button wore out. So we've now, thanks to Craig Reynolds, who I call the Star Man many years, taking care of the Boulder Star, produced this for us. And this is now guaranteed to light the Boulder Star on time. So I'm going to ask if all the children could please come over and join us up here at the Boulder Star, or at the switch. Okay. And if you spread out a little bit, and then Bear, if you can come over here. If you guys come over here, just stand and face the audience there. You ready? Okay, and I'm going to give everybody, we're going to count down. You guys ready? Okay. We're going to go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light it! It's lit! Yay!
Where is it?
Right there.
Oh, that's it. I see. Oh, it's gone.
You see it? You see it?
It's gone. Isn't that?
That little wink is a nod and tradition in honor of the folks who first built and erected the Boulder Star. So I appreciate that. All right. So I just want to thank all of you for joining us here on the terrace, those who are braving the cold, and all of you at home. Thank you so much for joining us for this annual holiday tradition. And then just again a reminder to please enjoy the star from... Thank you so much. And I want to also make sure to acknowledge one more time that the great support that we get in upkeep of the Boulder Star. First of all, our great partners at the City of Boulder Open Space Department. You guys are wonderful, making sure that we maintain the facility up there and the structure. I also want to acknowledge Craig Reynolds, again, the Boulder Star man who helped build the current design, as well as I want to thank my great friend Rex Laceby, who for his military service, but also for helping us organize this event in the wonderful colors tradition every year. Yes, certainly deserving an applause. And then, as is stated, we do need support from the community to make sure this holiday tradition continues. And so big thanks and shout out to WK Real Estate for their support of the Boulder Star. So with that, I'll just say thank you so much for joining us, and cheers to a wonderful holiday season for all of you, and a celebration of Veterans Day, and thank you for our veterans for their service. Enjoy.
At this time, we're going to now surrender our colors. Thanks again, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Space Force Color Guard from the University of Colorado Boulder. Thank you.
Color guard. Attend. Put. Carry. Colors. Ready. Cut. Left. Face. Forward. March. Left, right. Left, right. Left, 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 right. Left, right. Left, right. Color guard. Hold. Order. Color. Ready. Cut. One.
Thank you everyone for joining us. You can please move inside and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.